Queen Victoria, one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history, was known for her strict adherence to duty and a deeply ingrained sense of decorum. However, one chapter in her life, marked by a close and controversial relationship with her Scottish servant John Brown, sparked rumors and gossip that have persisted for generations. The John Brown affair remains one of the most intriguing and debated aspects of Queen Victoria's reign, reflecting the complexities of her personal life and the rigid expectations of royal propriety in the 19th century. To understand the depth of the relationship between Queen Victoria and John Brown, it is essential to consider the context of Victoria's earlier life, particularly her marriage to Prince Albert. Victoria married Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha in 1840, and the couple had a deep, loving relationship. Albert was not just Victoria's husband, but also her closest advisor, sharing the burdens of monarchy and providing emotional support in a role that often isolated her from genuine companionship. Albert's death in December 1861 plunged Victoria into profound grief. The Queen was devastated, retreating from public life and wearing black for the rest of her days, a symbol of her mourning. She referred to Albert as her angel and perfect husband, and her intense sorrow shaped the rest of her reign. The loss of Albert left a void in Victoria's life that no one seemed capable of filling. Enter John Brown, a Scottish Highlander born in 1826, who had served as a stableman and personal servant to Prince Albert during the royal couple's frequent visits to Balmoral Castle in Scotland. After Albert's death, Victoria found solace in the company of Brown, who became her personal attendant. His duties included leading her pony, accompanying her on walks, and attending to her needs with a level of familiarity and informality that was unusual for a servant. Brown's straightforward, no-nonsense demeanor and loyal service earned him Victoria's trust and affection. Over time, he became a constant presence in her life, a confidant who provided a sense of stability during a period of deep personal turmoil. Victoria even referred to him as "Dear Brown," a term of endearment that reflected the closeness of their relationship. The Queen's growing reliance on Brown did not go unnoticed. Within the royal court, as well as among the public and press, rumors began to circulate about the nature of their relationship. Victorian society was deeply conservative, and the idea that the Queen could have a close friendship or potentially a romantic relationship with a common servant was scandalous. The press, always eager for sensational stories, fueled the speculation with reports that hinted at an improper connection between the Queen and Brown. Satirical cartoons and poems were published, mocking their relationship and suggesting that Brown had undue influence over the monarch. Some even went as far as to suggest that the two were secretly married, dubbing Brown the Queen's husband or King John. These rumors were exacerbated by Brown's own behavior. Unlike most royal servants, who maintained a respectful distance and deference, Brown was known for his brusque, informal manner. He would often address the Queen without the customary "Your Majesty," and there were reports of him being seen entering her private apartments at odd hours. This only added to the gossip and suspicion that surrounded their relationship. Within the royal court, the John Brown affair was met with mixed reactions. Some members of the court were appalled by Brown's influence and the Queen's apparent favoritism toward him. They viewed him as an upstart who had no place in the Queen's inner circle. There were even attempts to diminish his role, but Victoria fiercely defended Brown, going so far as to dismiss those who criticized him. On the other hand, some courtiers recognized that Brown provided the Queen with much-needed companionship during her years of mourning. They saw his presence as a necessary comfort for a monarch who had become increasingly isolated and withdrawn from public life. However, even those who understood the emotional support Brown provided were uncomfortable with the closeness of their relationship. Despite the swirling rumors, Queen Victoria remained resolute in her loyalty to John Brown. She dismissed the gossip as idle talk and refused to entertain any suggestions that their relationship was improper. In her private journals, Victoria wrote fondly of Brown, describing him as a devoted servant and a dear friend who had been her best and truest heart. Victoria's children, particularly her eldest son, the future King Edward VII, were reportedly concerned about the influence Brown had over their mother. However, they were careful not to confront her directly about the issue, knowing how fiercely she guarded her privacy and the memory of Prince Albert. Victoria's affection for Brown extended beyond his life. When he died suddenly in 1883, she was devastated. She ordered that he be buried with full honors near her Scottish residence at Balmoral, and that a statue be erected in his memory. The Queen even insisted that Brown's portrait be placed in her room and that his personal belongings remain untouched as a tribute to his service. The John Brown affair has left an indelible mark on the legacy of Queen Victoria. Historians have debated the true nature of their relationship for over a century. While there is no concrete evidence to suggest that their relationship was romantic or sexual, the intensity of their bond was undeniable. In popular culture, the story of Victoria and Brown has been romanticized and reimagined, most notably in the 1997 film Mrs. Brown, which portrays their relationship as one of deep, if unconventional, love. The film brought renewed attention to this aspect of Victoria's life, highlighting the enduring fascination with the Queen, who, despite her public image of stoic duty, was capable of forming intense personal connections. The affair also sheds light on the complexities of royal life in the 19th century, where public duty often clashed with personal desires. Victoria's relationship with Brown can be seen as a response to the immense loneliness and grief she experienced after Albert's death. In Brown, she found a companion who offered her a sense of normalcy and comfort in a life that was anything but ordinary. Today, the story of Queen Victoria and John Brown continues to intrigue historians and the public alike, offering a glimpse into the private life of a monarch whose reign was defined by public duty, but whose personal life was marked by deep and enduring emotional connections. Whether seen as a scandalous affair or a poignant friendship, the John Brown affair remains one of the most human and relatable aspects of Queen Victoria's storied reign.